Welcome back, everyone. This is Frank Whiskey Charlie Zero Oscar, and I'm getting ready to do the ARRL January VHF contest that starts on January 15th at 1900 Zulu hours to 400 Zulu hours, approximately 400 Zulu hours on January 17th. Great thing about the VHF contest is that you can use your HT, which is really neat. Most people have one. I'm going to use my IC705, and I hope to use my FT5D. And last year, I built a Yagi which was made from PVC pipes and also measuring tape, which is really inexpensive to make. But unfortunately, you can't take this apart. I glued the joints because they were coming out loose, and they have to be pretty straight. And it was very challenging to make because I didn't know anything about creating a match and, the coax, with its braid, its negative and its positive side, and its shielding, things that I really didn't understand at the time. But I made it. It's a bit sharp. You got to be very careful on the ends of the tape. And if it's folded too long, it will bend and crease. So it's great to make, to give you an idea how something basic can give you a lot of gain. So this year I decided to get myself an Arrow 2, the model 146/437 10BP. Now, this one is the 3-element Yagi beam on 2 meters and 7-element Yagi beam on 70 centimeters. That apparently for handheld it's 10 watts, and for mounting you can go all the way up to 150 watts. Now it's a handheld portable satellite type of antenna, but I want to use it for very long distances. If you read a lot of the people have used this, you'll find very quickly, and when you read on the website and you watch the videos on the reviews, you'll find very quickly that people will buy the 4-element Yagi beam. There has another bar here. It's 3 bars, and apparently that's almost 5 feet tall, and people regret that. And even on the Arrow website, if you look at some of these, it suggests you might want to get the small one. And I think the small one is the right size. I mean, if you're going to keep it up on the roof, of course, more elements you have, you might squeeze another dB or so. But if you're going to go portable, like I am, I've got to read the rules first on what a rover really is. I think there's a limited rover, unlimited rover, there's a rover. I would like to be a rover. And I don't know if, I'm sure I can set up the antenna on the car, right? And then be some rover. That would be nice. And then travel, different places in Southern California just to get to talk to people. So I couldn't do that so much with the tape measure one, because I've noticed when I was in Lake Paris once, it was really windy, and the tape measure would shimmer, and you can hear that people couldn't hear me very well. But hey, I think again, for the cost and for the knowledge base that you get, I think that's awesome. This particular model runs about $100. I got this one at HRO. And you can see over here on the other side it says guaranteed, no hassle refund policy. If you're not completely satisfied, apparently you can ship it within 90 days without, of course, them paying for shipping. And it says you can assemble it in 2 minutes. Elements made from aluminum, arrow shafts, interesting. The Arrow 2 cross-polarized dual antenna is ideal for satellite communications and fox hunting. But what we're going to do is we are going to use it for a contest. And one of the things that you'll notice on watching these videos on the Arrow antennas is that everybody says that they keep the plastic because it's nice and heavy duty, and I can see why. And even over here on the instructions here, it says, cut bag below seal to reuse the plastic bag. So that's really neat, isn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to try to cut this the best we can here. Let's cut under, right? It says below the seal. So I believe this is below the seal. Of course, you don't have to do this. That's really neat. And you have all these items. Wow. Okay. And you still have your sturdy bag. That's really nice. Some people create their own bags instead of buying the bag that you can get for this. It is really lightweight. Is it less than the weight of, like, let's say an M-Pass Lite? Maybe. With the M-Pass Lite, you have the antenna, which is the retractable antenna. Definitely, I believe it's longer than this. This is really nice. Copper end right here. And you have these elements, which is, they look like vacuum sealed. That's really nice, right? And you have different, I guess, match units, I guess they're called. One for the 144 and the other one for the 440 or the 440 band, 70 centimeters. And then some instructions. And I guess that will tell you what these things are called, right? Yes, they are gamma matches. Are pre-assembled and pre-tuned. Really nice. They give you other parts that you can buy as well. Boom with end caps and so forth. Reflector elements. And, you know, it's relatively inexpensive. And they're made in Cheyenne. Cheyenne is a pretty cool place to be. Very, very nice town. And it has more instructions on where to put the drivers and the parasitic elements. Really interesting. And it gives you even a diagram for the duplexer. That's interesting as well. And it gives you some instructions on how to put it together. Definitely, I'm going to put it together outside when it's daytime. And definitely I'm going to be looking at the tech prepper. And he's the one who gave me the motivation to get one of these. He is really getting into VHF, UHF communications, emergency communications and preparedness. And I've been always wanting to get one of these antennas. But, you know, finally, I think this was a great opportunity to have one and to see how far I can communicate, because there's always somebody in Palos Verdes, which is not super far from here, right? Probably less than 20 miles away. And A lot of the times he can't hear me with my vertical antenna. If I want to talk to somebody at Orange County, which is easily 17 miles from here, a lot of the times they can't hear me as well. Now, if I transmit to a repeater that's on the mountains, that are nearby, then I can use the repeater, but you can't reuse repeaters in the contest. And I do have a Dr. Feng antenna, Ed Feng, which is a J-pole, a rollable J-pole, which is really cool. And I also used that on the contest, but that wasn't very good either, because it's not, it only has a certain amount of dB gain, right? And it's being transmitted all, as a sphere. And so it's not really all the gain is not being pointed in one direction, which definitely this antenna will do for us is Yagi. And that's the whole point, to see if I can get more context. I think last year, I think I didn't get too many, maybe 20, maybe less than 20 probably. But then again, I wasn't really thinking and trying hard enough, I think. And that's another thing you need to plan and to, figure out what's your best equipment that you can have for that day. So definitely this is going to help for that. Now, not only do I have this, which is going to be very important, but I need to also put it up on a pole. Recently, I've been using a flagpole holder from Soda Beams, and I use my Technical Mini and my Tactical 7000 something mast, or retractable mast, and I use the flag holder for that, and it does awesome. And definitely I'm going to try my Dr. Ed Feng's antenna on that. But I was thinking maybe to using some PVC pipe. That's all I have for the moment. And I'm going to use this here, which hopefully it should work. The Aero 2 antenna mounting bracket for Aero 2 models only. So this is going to be interesting to know how to use this. I'm sure there's some pictures here to show you. I'm sure this is where the pole goes through probably, and down here is when you clamp maybe the mast, and then you can do it going horizontal or this way to go vertical, right? I hope. This was necessary. I really needed this. I like the bolts. They're one of those type of bolts that have plastic in there, so they won't slip out as easy, as you can see. And then you have, oh, this is crazy. You have these lock nuts. Hopefully that's less than a half or 3/8, probably. We'll find out, right? So half, 3/4. There we go. Nice. And then we're going to see if we can lock this in, right? And I'll probably have to use some joints. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Tighten this even more. Yeah, that's really nice. So you can see that the antenna can go this way. I can have maybe an elbow this way. I don't know. Or I can use it this way, right? Again, maybe put an elbow here, so I can use it as a vertical. that's really neat. Definitely, this was important for me because mounting this was something that I was a little bit hesitant, and I think that was another issue too when I was doing this. I didn't have a very good tripod for my tape measure, and apparently some people, what they'll do is they'll take this off, and I think this handle here, this is not going to be easy to take off. So I'm back. So I was able to remove the handle. I was trying to be very careful to take it out. And the crazy thing is that the last hole is a 1/4 20. Here's a 1/4 20 screw. And it screws on very nicely. Now that's very nice, because that's telling you that they're really paying attention to the end user. And of course, you can attach a like a release plate, right? So let's do that. Why do I have a 1/4 20 screw? That's a long story. Let's see. I have a release plate right here, and I bet you can screw that on. Oh yeah, you can screw it on. That's fabulous. So here's a release plate for a tripod, and you put it on, and then the tripod will hold. Because it's not too much weight, the tripod probably won't tip over. But isn't that incredible? That's really, really nice. That's really thinking of the user experience and not, having some other dumb accessory that you need to buy so that you can put this, with a tripod. Not naming any names, of course, but some companies do want you to buy some other accessory that's like $20, $30 more, which is ridiculous. Things should be built in. Why? Because this allows the customer to know that they're thinking about the user, and then they're going to be, more willing to buy more accessories for that company. Because they're not, nickel and diming the user. All right, so one other thing too, I just remembered right now, listening to different people putting these arrow antennas together, is that the size of these bars sometimes are different, and it's a little bit hard to know which bar goes with what. So I went to Staples to get a label creator, which I haven't had one since I was, 10. But I think the label creator can be useful for example, the radials or the counterpoises in terms of the size. I know that, the super antenna does something like that. So that would be wonderful to put labels on these. Sure, it's going to look a little ugly, but in terms of putting things together quickly, I think, and efficiently, so you won't make a mistake in terms of putting it in the right order, I think might be worth it. The tape might, I don't know how the tape is in terms of, is it going to be sticky or not and have an ugly look to it in the end? I don't know. We'll find out. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the arrow antenna, and it's, how I'm going to use it, and some surprising things that I think are going to be very useful in the field for you. And if you do get one, please tell us, or if you have one, or if you have a video on it, share it on the comments below. So I hope to see you or hear you soon. This is Frank, Whiskey Charlie, Zero Oscar.